here with us now. We have 3 Carlow-based businesses that have all expanded in size and productivity with the help of the Carlow County Council. Beside me now, we have some seasonal tastes, and it's James Malone from Malone Fruit Farm. Good morning to you, James. How are you? Now, I love to see that this is a family business. It's been going 40 years.
Yeah, we've been going over 40 years in County Carlow. So my parents started originally as a job for us kids, summer job.
Was that the idea? To get you out and about?
Yeah, keep us a little bit of pocket money. So then it just expanded bit by bit as the years went on. And now it's a full-time business for me and my family.
But you went off and you became an electrician. You moved away from the farm, but it drew you back.
I escaped from the business for a while and worked as an electrician for a good few years. But then I decided I'd get back into it, and the way of life of a fruit farm is lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, seasonal.
So when you say seasonal, because, when you're looking at what you have here, it's more of a summer thing. So you must be very busy during the summer.
Yeah, the summer is our main season with all the soft fruit. But then we freeze it as well, so we have it available for customers throughout the year.
Which is a great idea, because I'm looking at them here. So you will pick them ripe during the summer and freeze. You blast freeze them.
Yeah. They're frozen really quickly, so they preserve all the flavour and all the nutrition. And then they're nice and loose in the bags. We sell them in 1 kilo bags. And
for smoothies and different things.
Breakfast and inner porridge. So people just defrost them the night before and ready to
off you go. Great idea. But you're also into the jams, the chutneys and the marmalades as well. So tell us about this.
Yeah, we've expanded over the years. So we started with doing jams and chutneys, and which again is making use of our products so there's no waste. So as we say at home, waste is expensive. So we use up all our produce for everything. And in the last few years then we've started making our coulis, and then the latest one is our raspberry vinaigrette.
So this is a blackcurrant coulis that you would just pour over stuff.
Yeah, so we have there our overnight oats, so just make them the night before.
Put your frozen fruit in, and then your coulis over it.
Coulis in the morning, and breakfast ready to go.
Great stuff.
Nice, nutritious.
And tell us about the different flavours of the jams and marmalades and chutneys here.
Yeah, so we do about 15 different jams. Between jams and marmalades. Wow. Now, we don't grow the oranges, but we do make marmalades. And then we do about 10 chutneys. So all different flavours, from fruity up to spicy. Holly's Hot Dip now would be one of my favourites, really good.
What is it?
Holly's Hot Dip, really good with a cream cheese and a bagel. Yeah, really nice. Nice little kick in it. But we have something for everybody, from the not so hot to the nice and hot. And
then you do at the markets, you do the local markets.
Yeah, most of our trade is at farmers markets. So we do Carlow Farmers Market every Saturday. We do a market in Dublin here in Sandyford, Nevola's Farmers Market every Friday. So we go direct to the customers, so we find it good. Because we're so seasonal, then your customers get used to what's in season, what's out of season. Yeah. And the way the fruit goes throughout the year.
It looks amazing. And how did Carlow County Council help you then?
Carlow County Council, from the start, when I took over originally, I did business management courses with them, and over the years done different courses with the council, and they're very supportive. And as well, they're really involved with Carlow Farmers Market. Anything we want to do, they're supportive of it. So they're really good with encouraging local production and keeping shop local and encouraging customers to buy.
And then we have to say congratulations, because on Monday you won an award.
We did. A nice surprise Monday night. We were at the Good Food Ireland Awards, national awards.
So what did you win it for?
We won Fruit and Veg Producer of the Year.
Really? That's a great award.
Yeah. So it was fabulous to get. Lovely to get the recognition. Yeah. Because you do a lot of hard work during the year, and then so to get an award is nice.
Well, congratulations. And I said, if you're out in those those farmers markets, make sure you go along and say hello to James Malone from Malone Fruit Farms. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for joining us this morning. Mirren, what have you got?
Thank you, Alan. Our next guest is Caitríona Cullen from Cullen Nurseries. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Mirren. Thanks for having us on.
James has gone on about 40 years. You've got 30 years involved in the nurseries.
30 years. My husband has been at this since he finished Ag College back in 1991 or thereabouts, and then I joined the business in 2019.
What was that like, kind of amalgamating into the business that had been there for so long?
Do you know what? I spent 10 years in the food industry, so I have a thick skin. I'm able for it.
You have a thick skin? Yeah. Is that what you need for trees?
Yes, that's exactly. Well, it's to work with your husband, maybe that's what you need. But no, it's gone very, very well, and we've been very lucky, yeah.
So tell us about this. You've got a mixture of plants here, some native, some not.
So we focus heavily on native species, but we also cater for the garden market. So the likes of Portuguese laurels, red robins, they're an evergreen plant planted in lots of gardens, but we focus mainly on native species such as this Gilder rose, which you can see is berrying now, and it's also got flowers on it. Over beside you is a bit of hazel. There's also Scots pine, which is an Irish evergreen tree, bit of holly. So we focus on everything, and we've 19 acres in Hacketstown, County Carlow. So we've an awful lot of that under trees and hedging at any given time.
And why is are native trees so important?
It's so important because it's so very good for our ecosystem and our biodiversity. Native trees, if you can think about it like this, native trees are used to growing in Ireland. They're less fussy, they're going to require less maintenance, and they have a massive impact on the ecosystem. So if you take this flowers. So flowers are so good for the pollinators.
Yeah.
And then when they're pollinated, they turn into berries, and then that's a food source for birds and small mammals as well.
And it is really important to think about the ecosystem.
So important.
Wildlife is being affected so much.
So much.
By development.
But even such a thing as like these are deciduous plants, so the leaf falls off. But when the leaf falls off, it literally is like a blanket for the soil. And then as it composts down, it feeds the soil nutrients as well. So it's very, very important. And you've also got, it's shelter for insects, mammals, earthworms feed on it. It's so important for all of those things as well.
So maybe we shouldn't be raking them all off and throwing them into bins.
Probably not. If you can leave a little bit of a layer, that's very, very good for the soil. Now, obviously, don't leave it on your paths where you're slipping on it, especially in this wet weather. But if you could leave it on instead of that manicured lawn look, if you could leave a little bit in a corner, even I see as I drove in, there was a little bee hotel.
Yes.
Little things like that make a massive, massive impact.
Because I know that you export these all over Ireland. Like you send them all over the country.
All over the country.
Everything like that.
Yes,
Cullen's
there are
been doing
Scots
this.
pines grown in Inishbofin that started life in the rolling fields of Carlow.
That's what happened.
Yes.
Like, isn't it lovely to hear stuff like that? Because it is, like, it's so important. But right now, for someone at home, and I was just asking you, I was getting your expert opinion, you could be planting.
Yes, so
now.
we come into bare root season. So bare root season is basically, it's usually from November through till the end of March. So if you think about it, everything is gone, the weather, well, it's not gone cold yet. We haven't actually started harvesting the biggest portion of our stock. But when it's cold, the plants go dormant. So basically they're asleep. So you could lift them out of the ground now, their roots won't be damaged, and you transplant them. So then when the soil temperature increases from about late March into April onwards, they wake up and they start to grow again. So now, because you can grow so many plants in a small area in a field versus like a polytunnel or a greenhouse, it's more cost effective to go with a bare root plant if you can. Now, there are some plants that can't be grown as bare root. Like we wouldn't grow a bare root Portuguese laurel. You need heat and you need certain environments to get them started.
Listen, you've got your own things working with your husband, fair play to you, that's something else. But I suppose being a small business and getting help from Carlow Council has to have been
fantastic.
important.
I have a certificate of marketing that I got through the local enterprise office. They subsidised me to go to SETU part-time and get a certificate of marketing. We've had funding from them. There's always somebody at the end of the phone. If I need a mentor, if I need to fill out an application form for something, I can get a mentor to do that. I've had so much training, management development, public speaking.
Is she doing well?
No, it's been absolutely fantastic. Our relationship with them is very, very good, I have to say. We're very lucky.
You're fabulous. These go all over the country
All over
at
the country.
Cullen Nurseries. And leave some leaves on the ground.
Yes.
Caitríona,
That's my top
thank you
tip.
so much for
No
joining us
hassle.
today.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Tommy, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Muireann. Well, I'm joined by William McCutcheon from Ballyshane Boards. Good morning to you, William.
Morning,
It's
Tommy.
great to have
How's
you with
things?
us. Now, my wife says I'm a bit sad that I love a good chopping board.
Good, well, we've plenty of them here for you.
Unbelievable, and they're class. You've been in business 10 years as well. What's special about Ballyshane Boards?
So the most special thing about Ballyshane Boards is the sustainability aspect of the business. So every single board we use, or every single plank we use, is hand selected by myself, and it has to fall into a certain category of dead, dying, or falling over. Right. So we don't use any trees that are standing, that are alive, or anything like that. And predominantly we use Irish beech, which is what you can see on the table here.
And some of the, like, for you to go and hand select each piece of wood, how important is that? Because, I mean, some of the detail in some of these just makes stunning.
The big thing for me to hand select them is the grain direction. So, like the likes of these bigger boards, the smaller boards is not so necessary, but as the boards get bigger, if the growth rings are not in line with the board, it'll actually warp and cup.
Oh, right.
So that's why I go hand select them myself, especially the bigger boards that we do. They have to have a certain grain pattern, and it also gives me the space to see what it will look like as a finished product. Okay. So that's why I go hand select them myself.
Well, you speak of bigger boards here, and I can see how most of these will be used in the kitchen. But this yoke, I mean, what are we going to do with this? Bar my wife hit me with it.
Well, that's an option too if she wants to.
Look at the size of it.
It's the ultimate entertaining board. So as you can see on the table, we have just a small one for smaller house apartments. But if you have a huge island, that's just perfect. just to entertain.
And that went viral.
Yeah, so when we set up the company 10 years ago, we done our first trade show, and I just made those to catch people's attention.
Right.
And we were, at that show, I think we got 40-something shops.
Wow.
And we sold 250 of them in the first year, so it was absolutely amazing. So, yeah.
My wife now has the plastic chopping board in the house. I'm always, and we have a couple of wooden ones. What is it, for people who be watching now, how important is it to actually use wood as opposed to plastic?
Plastic is so bad. So when you cut into wood and you wash it and it dries, it'll swell back up. So I was reading recently there in an article that wood, when you cut into it, the bacteria lasts about 3 minutes. But when you cut into a plastic chopping board, the cut stays there forever, and it just multiplies.
Yeah.
So it's far, far healthier to use a wooden chopping board than a plastic. I would just dump the plastic chopping board straight away. You don't hardly have a plastic chopping board.
Well, we do, but it doesn't get used by me anyway. But in terms of gifting, though, like we're coming up to Christmas time, gifting is such a big part for all of the business here as well. But you can do even engraving. I see you've got Ireland M engraved on the side there as well.
Yeah,
nice.
So when we started initially 10 years ago, we went into wholesale retail. But in the last 3 years, we wanted to have more of a one-to-one connection with our customers. So we focused just with our own website online, and 80% of our sales would be customization engraving.
Right.
So much so that we actually set up a secondary company called Fond Laser, that we do corporate gifting and trophies and awards and stuff. So just between the two businesses, that's the way we work with it.
Wow, right. And it's a laser that cuts, is it?
Yeah, we have 2 laser engraving machines. My wife does that side of the business, but yeah, we have 2 laser engraving machines, and we just specialise in doing.
You told me you had to get that message in,
I
because
had
the
to,
wife would have killed you now if you didn't get that done as well. William McCutcheon from Ballyshane Boards, and your wife's business, what's it?
Fond Laser.
Fond Laser, there you have it. Best of luck.
Thanks very much,
Thank you
Simon.
for Christmas as well. And of course, shop local as much as you can coming up to this Christmas time.